Hey, Denitra, how are you this evening? How are you doing? I got quite a few bushwatchers. Hey, Chanel, how are you? Hey, Timothy. Hey, Smoothie J. Smooth J, how you doing? I'm doing well. Hey, how is everyone doing? Chanel, 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 Chanel. All right. Yeah, I heard about the Travis Scott concert. I'm praying for all those who have been who suffered some injury, although even the one who have died from that. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. There is a lot going on out there. Yep, it is. All right, so I am going to. It's very sad. Everybody keep claiming they're not getting my what's the name? My alerts. Hey, late to the party. Hey, late to the party. I had to read it. Hey, pieces of puzzle. How you doing today? Yep, all is well. All is well. Yeah, mine do. My heart goes out to the family. Just bear with me a second, y'all. Yeah. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Let me reach out to somebody. Hold on. Just 1 second. I was wondering, should we read the transcript because we have Cheryl Max transfer. Oh God, my mic is making noise. Um, I have Cheryl Mack transcript, which we have not read, and that was on the 15th of September. I definitely would keep it. Oh, wow. Pieces of puzzle. I'm so sorry about that. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Life happens right now. It's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. A lot. I was talking to my girl on the phone. She had to intervene for a moment. Is it? It's in. I'm tired. I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Mm, mm, mm. Life is happening so fast. I'm so sorry. So much is happening in life right now. So I can understand. Sometimes we just have to sit back and just thank God just for everything that you have, all your blessings. It's rough sometimes. It's rough. Just need that peace and quiet. Only you know what is completely happening. Exactly. Praying for you and all the feelings. I mean, how much can a person take? It's not getting better. My heart goes out to you, pieces. Do you know some days you just feel like screaming, right? I think we all need to scream for a moment. Seriously, I think we all need to scream. Because life sometimes just gets you like, you know? Oh my God. Yes, 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 Chanel. The hugs. We need the hug. Pieces. Here's the hug. Let's do virtual hugs for pieces today. Pieces of the puzzle. Here's your virtual hug, sweetie. Here's your virtual hug. It's been so much going on. So much is going on. But you cannot let the enemy take a hold of your whole being. You got to tell the enemy, get thee behind me, Satan. Move forward, believe, and trust God. Trust God. Pray. Pray for your marriage. Pray for the situation. Pray for the individual. Just pray, 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 pray. Only prayer sometimes. Oh my God. Oh, something popped up on my phone. Just pray, guys. Just pray, 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 pray. Can't let the enemy just overtake your whole being. Can't. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what he come for. But you know what? We're not having it. We're not having it. Sometimes you just have to play that peaceful music. Where's you digging me when we need her? We need that peaceful tranquility music. Hey, Michael. Yes, y'all. The enemy whew, whew, y'all. Yeah, I just don't know sometimes. Even a couple of hours ago, I felt like, why am I here doing this? Why? Why am I here? Because every time I turn around, something, something, it's something. But you got to hold on to God's unchanging hand because when God gives you an assignment, He's going to give you the provision through the assignment. If God gave you that marriage pieces, He's going to give you provision. Sometimes you just have to get on your knees, fast, and pray regarding that situation. I never give an advice for people just to give up on a marriage. I think you need to go to God about it before you make that decision of divorce. Um, gotta change them. Gotta change you. Sometimes we might think it's the other person that needs changing. Sometimes it's us. You know, you never know. Hey, family, welcome back. Welcome back. I want to share something with you guys with this whole R. Kelly fight. I have never, ever in my life been in such a negative arena. Never, ever have I been attacked as bad as I've been attacked on this YouTube world because the attack is not just coming from one person, it's coming from all different angles, you know. Um, I had to reach out, praise God for Tanya. I had to reach out to her today because the attack comes so fierce sometimes that I was ready to like throw in the towel. But you know, when God gives you something, when God truly gives you something, and that includes a marriage, a relationship, when God gives you something, it's not always going to be easy because the enemy, try to do like he did with Job. In the book of Job, when the devil saw Job, right, and God asks the enemy, "Try my servants, Job. He's faithful. He's trusts me." And the devil says, "Oh, the only reason why he trusts is because you do everything for him." You know that. But as soon as you remove your grace or your blessings from him, watch what he's gonna do. He's gonna curse you, right? And so God gave the enemy permission to mess with Job because he knew how what Job could withstand. He knew that no matter what, he can trust Job with the troubles that were going to come about. And I'm saying that to you, peace. When God ordains something, an assignment, a person in your life, it's not going to be always that perfect, rosy, wonderful feeling all the time. Marriage is a lot of work, a lot of work. It is not something that's taken lightly. There is a lot of good time, but there is a lot of adjustments and a lot of growing that you do in a marriage. Because you have two imperfect individual coming together as one, and God should always be in that middle, that the imperfect two individual. Because there are days that you just don't want to. Thank you, y'all. I believe that's why I'm here now. I chose me and for my sanity. I chose me and my sanity. I chose me and my sanity. Puzzle, I'll be praying for you hard for my sister. The devil's job is to do what he is doing. Pieces know that everything happens for a reason and he is in total control. I pray that God heals your heart and gives you the perfect peace. Amen. That is right. Your peace is everything. That's why I'm here. I chose my sanity over them as well. Denitra, wow, that's a lot. I'm glad that's almost over. Hmm. All right, let me put the link in here. Hey, Des. I'm not even sure what I'll be staying away from those I personally know are responsible. Hey, Chris, how are you doing today? I came on to see if you guys wanted to read. I'm almost done, Sylvia, from Sylvia, and I'll be right up. Okay. Do we have readers? No, we don't have any readers. Good, it's hard to catch you live. Oh, you finally catch me, Chris. How are you doing today? Latrice, everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. I drive trucks, so it's hard to catch your lives. Are you off today? Good evening, Daphne. Daphne, I will be fine. I will be fine. Sorry, y'all, to damper the mood. I believe when it's all said and done, I'll be victorious. I have a lot to share in this world. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, pieces, if anything, I miss you. I miss you up here. Peace. Sometimes you gotta get it out. It's good to talk about it. Sending you love and light. Exactly, Samantha. This could be rough sometime, y'all. With everything that's happening, all of us is going through something. Do you know between October 31st and January 1st, they said that is the saddest time of the year. Did you know that? A lot of people go through a lot during those times. Hey April, how are you? They say a lot of people go through a lot of stuff happen between those months. A lot of suicide, a lot of disconnect, a lot of issues, a lot of stuff happened throughout the time. I miss y'all too. I started a new job and once training is over, I'll be back. What time do you go? Yeah, Chanel, it's very depressing around this time. Yeah, my boyfriend Jeremy is in the hospital in Lubbock. He has some family issue with his leg and his lips are really bad. I need prayer. April, we'll be praying for you. You never know what people are going through, especially during the holidays. Yep, yep, especially during the holidays. You know, a lot of people think about family members and who has passed on, and during the holiday, those good, happy feelings they no longer have because that person's not around. You know, that is why it's important for us to stay as positive as we can. Stay prayerful and praying for one another. Yes, Lavelle. Yep, that is the best time. That's why we have like the other channel so we can go have some good time because laughter is great medicine. Did y'all know that? Laughter is great medicine. We'll definitely, April, we'll definitely be praying for you. You know what I don't like about the internet? The ugly side of people comes out on the internet. Things that they would never normally do in real life, they do on the internet. And sometimes the ugliness spill out to real life, and then makes the internet very dangerous. So that's why a lot of time I pray over you guys that come into my chat. I ask God to bless you. I ask you guys to have a, you know, whatever burden, whatever issue that may be going on in your life, that God will bless you, help you work it out. You know? Yes, training over this week, and then I'll be at my desk keeping you all in my prayers. Exactly. Maybe that's why I'm never sick at Sylvia because I keep me laughing. Y'all keep me laughing. We do, don't we? We crazy, aren't we? The shooting in Clovis, New Mexico, the public library. Wow. I've been trying to hang on for 11 years, and I thought with the birth of our son, things would change. I know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel for him. Oh, we have so many different conversations going on in the chat here, trying to keep up. And so I'm going to keep reading you guys' messages in here. So, yeah. You just got to sometimes roll with the punches. Do what do what makes you, I'm not going to just say happy, but do what is best for what God has for you. Everybody has a path. Hey, Robbie. Oh, I know, Robbie. It gets crazy up in here sometime. It gets really bad. The attack is so inhumane sometimes. The words, the ugliness that is spewed out on this internet, it's very hurtful. People don't think sometimes words hurt. It does. It gets into the psyche of that individual. And sometimes you have to close your ear gates to that stuff and stay on that positive path. Focus on that thing that makes you happy. Gotta do what makes you happy. We have one life. Absolutely. Eight, hey, eight. Sound like me. I choose yourself and make moves. But guys, in making those moves now, you do remember, always put God in it. Ask God what is the next step and show you the next step. Sometimes we can't trust our feelings, guys. Sometimes we can't trust our feelings. You gotta weigh the the pros and cons about anything. You know, some days we might feeling up, some days you can't feeling down. Right? Can't do it for the children because of what happens when they grow up. I cannot give any marital advice. That's just not my expertise. Hey, staying safe. Been away from social media, but do pray all for all of us away. Had been sick, and today I'm very sore. Oh, I hope you feel better. Staying safe. My God is my Lord and Savior. Amen. April. Amen. I do, but guess what? We may not have consult with Him while getting into these things. That is so true. Everyone, please remember to hit the like button. Thank you, Chanel. Thank you. I go to marital advice for y'all. Seek marital counseling. Get up early and pray. That's right, Samantha. Yep, yep. Let's see. Let's see. I just need to try that. It didn't work. How long you been how long have you been in counseling? Straight that party? Straight to the party? Straight to that party? Late late to the party. Sorry. Mimi, I've been looking for you. I was needing some readers in here, and I was like, "Where's my Mimi? Where's my Tiff Tiff?" Not Tiff Tiff. Well, you know who. I really consider you a friend, and I love to chat with you over the phone sometime. Ah, Tim, that's so sweet. Hey, Tina. Guys, I attend, but he attended once, and I still go. Wow, that's the issue right there. Straight late late that party. You know, your name is just messing me up right now. But that's probably the main thing. Because if one party is willing to work it out and the other one's not willing, it's never gonna work. It's never gonna work because it takes two to try to come together and make it work. It's never gonna work. The two individuals may has to be willing, and that's why I thank God for the marriage that I have right now. You know, When Ronald and I don't see things eye to eye, he is always willing. Um, and that's why I really love about him. He's very peaceful, and I think I'm more than a hard one in the marriage, as far as holding on to grudge. Because Ronald, when we don't ever argue. That's weird. We don't ever argue, but it's like this whole uh, internet thing, which gets him really, really upset because he sees some of the stuff and how I react to it. He always tell me to get off of it and stuff like that. And I don't. And I got him involved in stuff that he should never been involved with, you know. Pray and ask God to allow your husband and your wife to see things through your eyes without you telling them. It does two things. It increase your faith and you get to watch God work. And that is so true, Lavelle. And I think that's what Ronald did for me. He started praying for me because when I was all caught up in all this craziness here, even though I knew he was right, but I didn't want to listen, you know. My best friend Tyler, that's my brother. That's a brother passed away. He broke his neck and he had a stroke, and yeah, he passed away. Pray for the family that the ashes. You're welcome. Straight. Hey, K Nicole. Oh, Mimi, nothing's wrong. I'm better now. I talked to Tanya earlier. I'm better now. It's just the internet woes, the internet woes. I try not to pay attention to it, but you know, I do. I'm human, and I think, but here's the thing. I realize when you're attacked a lot is because God trusts you with the troubles. God trusts you with the trouble because He know you will surpass it and you will go to the next level. Because remember they said, "Oh, there she is." Hey,
Um,
Tanya.
Hi everybody. Hi Sylvia.
Hey,
Are you feeling better?
I can't hear you.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
Okay. Are you feeling better, honey?
Yes, I'm doing much better. Thank you for asking. Thank
You're
you
wel-
for being the ear for me.
you're welcome. That's what friends are for, even if it's virtual friends.
Yeah, that's true. They're good for that, you know. I am doing much, much better. You know what, y'all? Let me just tell you something. The enemy is fighting me like with all, all his might, but I ain't going nowhere. All his might.
Nope, you're not going anywhere because your mission is what God has assigned to you. So we can't let the devil win in any of this. Um, you're such a kind person, and again, like I told you earlier, I really appreciate you having this platform for us all to have moments like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where we can release and there's no drama. People can share different things that are going on in their lives, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure that everyone else does as well.
You're going in and out.
Okay, let me find my other ear. Give me a second. Let me plug in my other AirPods. One moment.
Thank you for my purple and green. Thank you for my purple and green. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, listen to this very clearly, guys. That's Tanya talking, Timothy. Listen to this very clearly. I am not going anywhere until God says my assignment is over. I could care less how many negative things that are spewed about me. I don't care how much postings that are posted about me. I don't care. What I care is what God say. What God say. I will shout it again. Only what God says.
That's
Because
right. Can you hear me now?
yes, I can. Very clear.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. They can scream to the top of their lung. They can add mounts of people. They could take everyone away from here. I am not going anywhere. The more God gives me, the more I'm going to give you guys. That is what I am going to do. He did not bring me this thus far for me to give up. The battle still has to be won, and God needs soldiers, and I am one of his soldiers in this battle. It's a spiritual thing. You need the warriors, you need every single soldier on that battlefield. The enemy, the enemy, comes in as a flood, and God has to raise those standards, meaning that every level that you go up, there's another level of demonic spirit that tries to attach themselves to you. So that's why you have to fight like your life depended on it. You know, there are things that happen that you don't quite understand, right? But as long as you stand whole in truth to what God has for you to do, you will get through and you will succeed in the assignment in the battle. I know the last couple of days you guys have been hearing so many things that seems like unbelievable because every time you turn around, my name is somewhere in somebody's mouth. Somewhere. And someone, good night, April. Have a good night. And definitely, I'll still keep you in my prayers, okay? But someone reminded me today in my conversation, they reminded me that you are so much important in this kingdom, in this fight, that your name is going to be known everywhere. Meaning that I stay prevalent in their mind because I am so fierce that they have to reckon to who I am. They know my name and they will continue to call my name because they already know what God has placed inside of me. And I'm not trying to toot my horn or anything like that, but every single one of us have a battle or something in our life that God has equipped us with. And the enemy is so, like I was telling you in the book of Job. God knew what Job possessed, and he knew that no matter what the devil throws at him, that he was going to succeed. He was not going to cuss God and die. That was not going to happen. That's why when you're given an assignment in life, God trusts you. Even though when you think you can't do it, everything's being thrown at you. You got to understand that God trusts you. God trusts me. He trusts me. That's why you can go all over the internet and all you hear is they always talk about my relationship with God. Always talk about my relationship with God. That how much I am not a Christian. How much that, how can I talk about God and then act like this? They always talk about, and I think it's a lot of people who don't really have a real relationship with God. They're afraid because I mention God everywhere I go. I am never ashamed. It's an honor that people see me and say, Sylvie, will you pray for me? It's an honor that God trusts me so much. So that's why days when I feel like giving up, I will make that phone call because I need someone to hold my arms up, you know, hold me up. And I like I tell them, hey, I can't do this. I can't take this no more. But then they remind me of what God said to me. Don't be sad to Robbie. Don't be sad at all because I it's like a strength that I have now. I can go through the channels and I see my name. I could just type up my name, Infamous Sylvie, and I see my name on this person's channel and that person's channel. That person's talking about me. That person's talking about me. That person. And I'm like, wow, I'm famous. That's why I'm Infamous Sylvia. Somebody reminded me yesterday that look, you were in the newspaper. Have any of them been placed in the newspaper where millions and thousands of people come into their channel because they saw your name in a newspaper? Do you know there's a lot of and I promise you guys, I'm not tooting my horn. I promise you I'm not doing that. But I had to get those reminders of who God say I am. And the more they fight me, the more they talk about me, the more God blesses me. If I share with you guys some of the blessings that God has bestowed upon me since all the negative talks about me, you'll be like, whoa, it'll blow your mind. The more, the more they turn their back against me, the more they try to, because a lot of people in my face and they come to me as if they're my friends, but meantime they have daggers coming after me. I have spies everywhere around me. I'm like, Lord, You think of me that much? Why do they hate you so much, Sylvia? Because they see the God in you, that you're not afraid. You're not ashamed to tell the whole world, millions of people that passes through your channel. You're not afraid to say who God is in your life and how much he means to you. Authenticity, a real relationship. A real relationship. You've seen people come into my channel. You've seen people from different walks of life come into this channel. You have never seen them come on anybody else's channel. You have seen people from the Philippines, uh, from Australia, from UK, from Africa, from all over the world gravitate to this channel. Why you think that is so? Why do you
Because
think that is so?
you're beautiful. That's why.
Oh, thank you, Mimi. But I'm saying nobody can comprehend and nobody can stop it at all. You guys have witnessed people coming on this page that you have never seen in anybody's channel that has been supportive of Robert Sylvester Kelly. You name one person that you have seen all nationalities come onto the channel. Name one. I'll wait for you guys. Tell me one. Name one person that you have seen somebody from Africa, somebody from Philippines, somebody from um, what was that? Norway, England, uh, China, even China. They came onto my platform. You've seen their faces. You've seen somebody who's blind, somebody who has different disabilities. You've seen all of them pass through this channel. No other channel is gifted to have that. Not one. Who did all of that? Nobody but God. And a lot of people are afraid of that. A lot of people are afraid of the people who have come through my channel. All walks of life have walked through here. Because I truly put my whole self, my real self. There's no Memorex, there's no fakeness in me. And when I say I pray for you, you ask Mimi, you ask Latrice, they have been in my prayer closet, I say. They know I am not fluff. My relationship with God is real. That's why they can come into this channel and commune with me because I'm not a fake person. I don't live this life that people do on YouTube, the fakeness. They come on here, sell you dreams that all of this stuff, which they're not. They tell you they have all of this wealth, they don't. They tell you they have all of this personality, they know this person, and they don't. I come to you as an empty vessel that God uses. It's all I can do. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have seen celebrities come through my channel, even some who says they're going to come. And I'm a regular person. You have seen attorneys. You have seen so many different walks of life come through here. And have you seen that in other channels? No, absolutely not. That's the reason why I'm not giving up. Because whether or not they appreciate me or not, there are people in this world who God has assigned for them to come through this channel to feel the peace of God. Not super religious. I'm talking about real peace of God. And they feel home, like this is home for them. And that's why they hate me so much. That's why they could come and just try to scandalize and talk so much negativity about me. They don't know about me. They can't understand it. I'm a very simple person, but perplexed to those who do not know Christ. And I have to embrace who God is. I cannot dummy myself down because I have to embrace who God has me to be. They hate that they're not me. I can guarantee you right now somebody's talking about me somewhere on the internet and not good things about me. You just have to try to figure out why. Why? No more tears for me. Not for them, anyway. I will cry for those who the Lord says to cry out to God for. But as far as my enemies, no, I feel sorry for them. Because I know who I am and whose I am. That's right, Shannon. I'm not going anywhere until God says. I have to embrace my assignment. I have to embrace who I am. And I will continue bringing you guys information. I will continue to allow God to use me. You guys would just be surprised. There are people who are lurking and trying to sabotage, even contacting Robert to disconnect from me. And like I told everybody, I'm not here because Robert has me here. I'm here because God has me here. I'm not here to have a relationship with Robert. I am here because God assigned me to this. And I keep telling people that I'm not here for any accolades for no one. If you only knew who God is, you would understand when God gives you an assignment. Especially if you want to please Him, you fulfill that assignment. It's not getting accolades or getting recognition from anybody. It's when I get off this live, I get on my knees and ask God, are you pleased with me? How do I do this better for you, Lord? How do I represent you the right way? And sometimes I don't get it right. I let my flesh get in the way. But majority of the time, I would say 75% of the time, He's pleased with me. God, not Robert, not anybody else. God is pleased with me. That's all I'm here for. All those who tell lies and say I'm here for this and here for that, I'm going to tell you straight from my mouth, I'm here for what God has for me, what He says for me to do. He makes provision for my assignment. When God gives me something, if He says for me to go this place, that place, He makes provision. He makes provision. All those who try to do things to sabotage whatever God has for me, I say woe unto you, because you have to answer to God, not to Sylvia. You have to answer to God. I am His chosen vessel in a certain way. Just like you guys have your own assignment that God chose you for. I just have to do what God say do. And I don't use God's name lightly. I say His name with my whole being, because He is who has made me. I am not ashamed of Him. Can never be ashamed of Him, because He knows those nights that I cry out and I surrender to Him. I'm just fulfilling my promise to Him. And when I leave this earth, which one day I will, just like everybody else, He can ask me, and I can say, yes, Father, I have fulfilled your assignment. And hopefully He'll say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Because I can't say, oh, this person stopped me, or that person said this about me, so I stopped. No, that's not going to be an answer that I want to give to Him. Do I get weary sometimes? Yes. Do I feel hurt sometimes? Yes. But I have to get right back on it and take my full position. All the ones in the bushes right now, there's nothing that you could stop me. You can't stop what God has already placed and ordained. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop what God has already ordained before the foundation of this earth. And there's no accident why you're hearing what I'm saying right now. And it does apply to you. You cannot stop. You cannot stop what God has blessed and ordained in my life. Your lies will never work. Your actions will never work. Because what God has assigned is going to come full force. You can't stop it, no matter how much you try. No matter how much you try to sabotage and say things and do things behind the scene and try all kind of witchcraft or sorcery or whatever it is, God is more powerful than any of that stuff that you may try. Any of stuff. I thank God for all my sisters and my brothers who stand strong and who believe in what the things that God is doing in my life. I thank you guys so much, because your prayers are definitely needed. Because without you giving me that push and that encouragement and letting me know that keep pushing, keep pushing. I thank God for you. I thank God for you. And pieces, blessings to you, my sister. Whatever you're asking God for, whatever you're going through in your marriage, please put God first. Let Him work it out. I know you are tired. I know you're growing weary in this. I know. But sister, please try God. Please let God do this for you. Please let God do this for you. It's not accident why you are here. Try him. He will see you through this. Marriage is hard. Marriage is a lot of work. But when you put God in the center of it, and I know, and I'm not saying that you guys are not putting God in the center of it, but you gotta pray hard. You gotta talk to him. I'm talking about the Lord, not your husband. Talk to God. He's gonna work everything out. I promise you. He is a God, he never gives up on us, no matter how much we think. Just think back at the times when you thought things were just like messed up for you. And when you prayed, he answered you. Prayer works. Allow him to work it out for you. We as human beings can give you all kinds of answers because we're going through our own personal experience. But when you try God and you talk to God about it, there is a reason why you're here. Because God says, come to me. Come to me. I'll help you
Yeah,
through this.
I was gonna ask Latrice, you went through marriage counseling? Latrice? She can't hear me. Sorry.
I can hear you.
You asked, did I go through marriage counseling?
Yeah, I thought that was you put that in the chat. I'm not sure.
Well, we did begin marriage counseling, but the COVID has hit last year in the 2020. So we went one day, and we were supposed to go back, but that's when everything started shutting down. So, but I was always on my knees praying. That's one thing I was doing, praying, and He worked it out. God will fix it for you. You know, you just have to try Him.
Yeah, marriage is hard work.
Yeah, because you have two imperfect people coming together. And I don't care if you've been married 20, 30 years, those imperfection comes out. You cannot listen to ungodly counsel. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And that marriage is a gift from God. It's a gift. And you have to see it as a gift. You have to cherish it as a gift. Just pray about it, pieces. Please pray about it. Don't take anybody else's advice other than God. He will give you the answer. Pieces. Trust God, baby. Trust God. And I know the flesh sometimes it's like we can't take it. Now here's the question. Are you being physically abused, mentally abused? Okay, Timothy. Love you too. Pieces. Mentally I feel. Shirley said that's why she got divorced. Like unspoken threats.
What exactly does that mean? Like when you say unspoken threats.
I think she's meaning like maybe I might be wrong, but I think she means like verbally.
Pieces, could you click that link and come in if you don't mind, please?
Yeah, I think that's a verbal abuse. Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Shalom.
Shalom, how are you?
I'm good. How's everybody?
We're good.
We're
Good. I
good.
didn't want to put a damper in the chat or anything. It was just something I just had to kind of get off my chest for a minute because I've been trying for some years and trying to get things, to work out. I've been praying, and I think Miss Denitra just mentioned something more like a spiritual thing. When the other person doesn't believe, it's like, you have to go through their trials with them, uh, after prayed about things and things, and they still want to go their own way and try this and try that. And then it just sets you back so far, you know. And when I said unspoken threats, I meant by like, if you do this, you'll see, or, if you do that, just certain little things.
Like a mental game.
Right, right. And it's like it's a game. And, I've been praying about it. But what I live by is, if you didn't ask God to get into it, why even worry him about helping you get out
You know, sometimes when you're in it already, God will bless you in that, because marriage is something from God, period, right? And say you married the person because of some other purpose other than what God had already ordained. You're in the marriage now. So
Yeah.
now you're going to have to seek God about it. Divorce is not of God. We all know that, right?
Well, I mean, see, along the way, you start learning more things about yourself. You start learning things about the other person, and when those things, that you're learning more about yourself are not comparable, I guess you can say. It it's a lot.
When
No
you
time.
yeah, you kind of
You
start
know,
growing apart and maturing in
right.
different ways.
Right. And you still love that person, you care about them, but if you keep asking for certain things that they aren't able to give you, or they're able to give you, they just choose not to, then of course I didn't want to, go towards a divorce or anything like that. But like I said, I had to choose me and my girls. Is you don't want your children living in dysfunction, and you don't want them to be saying, "Mama, why you stay? You could have left." And we say that we do things for children, and a lot of these children are smarter than we are. A lot of things that we go through, they would not go through. And we think that we're
Yeah.
staying there for them to, keep them, um, together, and to show them that your mom and dad is there or whatever. But it's only hurting your children, and it's hurting you, and it's killing your peace.
So has it gotten physical?
Oh no, ma'am. I
Okay.
mean, it's about to, because it gets on my nerve so bad. Like, you know what? And I don't have the temperament for that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that anymore. When I was a little bit younger, and we were just getting into it, and we could go through certain little things. But now there's things that I'm not going to deal with, that I've dealt with before, that I'm not going to deal with now. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I pray, I do my lessons, I talk to God. However, I did find out that, if you are yoked with an unbeliever, and that, and they choose to leave or they choose to stay, you don't have to actually stay there. That's why he did. That's why Moses did write up the bill of divorcement. You see, so I had been battling this for a couple of years, talking to my elders, and they had took us through counseling. And I called them back maybe about 6 months ago, and they gave me the same scriptures, that they gave me before, and if I mean, why keep going through the same thing over and over and over again?
So how long you been married?
We've been married for 12 years, and it's been hell for about 7 years.
So what made it hell? Is it after the children or?
No, it was like, before we got married, some issues that had transpired, and I didn't. I thought that I had forgiven him, but I didn't. And we, like I said, we started talking to a counselor and things like that. I got over him, but he started to go back and continue with that same behavior again.
Was it
So
infidelity?
lies and infidelity, and not being able to actually, I'm home with the children, you know what I'm saying? So I could
Mhm.
just pay, when a woman gets that intuition, you can't just get up and
Mhm.
leave your children. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? You got to be the grown up, and deal with it. And a lot of times that I put my foot down, I always, I might have picked it back up, and let things, just slide, that I probably shouldn't have let slide, in the beginning. So, like I said, now I'm to the point where I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm not trying anymore. Um, I wish I wasn't. I wish I didn't know the truth and wasn't trying to live right, because it would be easier to get over it. You know what I'm saying? Because you'd be out, you do your things. But I am trying to live right, and in front of my girls and stuff. So I just got to keep a cool head until I'm able to escape.
Yeah, and infidelity is something that's wow, that's it's difficult to deal with, and to move past, because
Right,
that's especially when it occurs within the marriage, when you after you get married, and it's because you're breaking a sacred trust, and once that trust is
right,
broken, it's really hard to get it back. But you can, but it's hard, but
right. And it takes
it
a
has to
lot.
be two people to get over it,
That's
to
right.
get past that. Because if you're trying to get over infidelity or losing your trust in your mate, and if both and are not working toward forgiveness and getting over it, it just sometimes it
Right.
works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And see,
um
that's where I'm at now. I should have just went on and, and called it quits at that point in time. But I actually gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I was saying, well, just, tell me the truth. Just, how we do it. Just tell me the truth. I'm not gonna be upset. I just want to know the truth. I'm a realist. I understand when things hit me, I already know what it is. A lot of times I have gone back on my intuition, and I would never do that again.
yeah.
When something tells me that something ain't right, I already know it ain't right. And I think that's where we started having problems because I wasn't able to be fooled anymore. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? You had already played your card. I already knew what was in the deck, you know? So and that's where it's at. But like I said, I thank God because, I just started my new job this week. Um,
congratulations.
yes, ma'am. And and I couldn't me being home for like 3 years with my girls until they got up at age, they could stay home and I could trust them and uh I just I couldn't have left him if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I had money saved up, ended up using it, for other things that the girls may have needed. Um, but I couldn't leave if I wanted to. I would actually had to ask him, I'm leaving. I need money to leave. So I said I'll never get in that situation again. Where if I'm in a situation that somebody has that much control over me, it didn't start out that way,
Yeah.
but it
I'm,
ended up that way.
I'm gonna say in my relationship prior to my husband, I was with someone who there was some infidelity, and I forgave. But what I did learn is that if we truly forgive that person, we have to let it go. We don't forget it, but we have to let it go.
Right.
And what I couldn't do is let it go. So the relationship was gone because I didn't
Yeah.
trust you. And then I felt like, and I was told, get over it. It's been,
Basically, or take
you
my
can't,
words, believe
yeah.
what I say. But when you're exuding the same characteristics that you showed during that time, some of those characteristics come back up, you're like, wait a minute, something ain't right. Something's not right. And those things are happening. Like I tell them, we keep the Sabbath. So like Friday evening to Saturday evening, he has his own business. I asked him, just spend Friday with us, Friday evening to Saturday evening. Any other night, you got your own business. You can go work all night long, all you want to. All I'm saying is be present for me and these children. And he can't even do that. So
I'm sorry.
I deserve more than that. I deserve somebody that's gonna be there for me. Like I said, my children are already like, Mom, he's not even here. Like, what are you holding up? Like, they're smarter than me. You see what I'm saying? And I try to keep giving them like excuses, like, girls, it's harder to, once you're married, it's harder to step away from something. I have to be uh, in the right thing with God. I want to be right with Him, not to walk out on it. But what about me? What about me? What about, my heart being disappointed all the time? What about me having to make these sacrifices, for the girls that I'm not in this by myself, but I feel like I'm in it by myself.
I'm sorry.
And that's not how it's supposed to be.
No.
But I can't teach somebody that may not have had that same growing up that I had with my mom and dad. They weren't the best, you know, marriage in the world. But the love that my dad had for my mom, we saw that. And we saw what happened when he passed away, that it wasn't like that anymore. So my dad had told me one thing before he passed. Well, actually, before I got married, he said, "Why would you want to be with somebody that's unfair to you?" And when I go through these things, with him, it just plays back in my head like, why would I want to be with somebody that I try to be? I stand firm on what I say. If his family needs something, I'm there. If my family needs something, I'm there. It's not we're there. It's I'm there. If his family needs something, we're there. You see what I'm saying? And it's like it's lopsided. And I can't do that no more. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We
do
sit
you
here and we
want
fake
to?
it. Yeah, we
So
fake it and till we make it. But I mean, I'm not a fake person, and I'm not gonna continue to keep playing these games, until until he's tired of playing games or he can't move no more or he doesn't work himself to death that he's no good to me or the girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that. I'm in my
Yeah.
youth. And the
Yeah.
Bible says, to love your wife or your husband or your spouse while they're in their youth. What you gonna wait till I get 50 or 60 years old for us to start spending time together? No, no, I'm not gonna do that because there should be a balance. If I can balance my things out, you can balance yours. So the only thing that would hold me back, and this is honest, is the part that everything that I've been begging for. And I know y'all might think I'm crazy, but we sit here and we think about these things. But everything that I'm begging for, the next person will come and they'll easily just give it to them. That's the part that upsets me, is because
Yeah.
these things that I've been trying to help you with,
Yeah.
help you with your business, help you with, getting your credit and stuff straight, help you with all of these things. And it's always been a struggle for me. But the next person, once I let you go, and the next person that comes along, you'll just give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
that's the only part
It
that,
happened with me, my last relationship.
that's what happens. So
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a realist. I totally understand where I'm at. Miss Sylvia, I do pray. I pray all the time. I try to, keep an even keel on the platform and
Mhm.
everything, and try to be fair and
Mhm.
just in all of my decisions. And I realize that it's once you've taken a person as far as you can and you've done all that you can do, then what else is there to do?
Mhm.
I hope this helps with you talking about it too. It's awesome.
Yes, it
It's
really does.
awesome.
It really does. I mean, because somebody else may be going through this and they may not be to the point where I'm at, because a year ago, I didn't know where I was. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know that I was here. I didn't know what I was actually going through. And I'm not pinpointing anything on him. It's just like I said, those unspoken threats. Like, I know that my career will probably entail me dealing with a lot of male males,
Mhm.
so I chose not to do certain things because I don't ever want him to feel the way that he had made me feel, that somebody knows more about me than he does,
Mhm.
because I felt like more people knew more about him than I did, you know, so I didn't continue my dreams because of being kind of stifled a little bit. Or I felt like, if I go with my dreams, then I'm going to keep having to prove, this, that, and the third to him to show him that I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. But guess what? He don't care. He didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Why would I have to prove that when I've been proving that these 12 years?
Wow. Yeah.
Do you feel like the 12 years was wasted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I told him a couple of times, like, I wish I'd never got married. I really wish I never got married. Because nobody gets into a marriage to divorce.
No.
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 You know,
No.
No.
we always hope
All right.
for the hope for the best,
Yeah.
and it just ends up like that.
And we never prepare for the worst either.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
no, but yes, I do feel like those years were wasted.
You got some
I've
beautiful babies out of it, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got my girls, man, and they're like my best friend. Because
That's
with him being gone all the time, they see me in my up, they see me in my down. They're like, "Ma, don't worry about it." Like they become my shoulders, like they're so strong. They're so much stronger than me.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. I mean, this marriage has given you those wonderful children, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
She lost
So
herself.
yeah,
Sure
I
did.
did.
She lost herself in the marriage, and that's what a lot of us do when we get married. We forget about our own dreams. We forget about the things. 'Cause a lot of us stay in marriages because we don't think we could do better by ourselves. You know what I mean?
Well, I was actually doing better by myself. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
Before
I'm
I
just saying,
met him.
but you release all that once you got married. You release
Right.
it and let somebody else take that
Take the
lead.
reins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And that's not how I used to be. I used to be, this go getter, the aggressive
mhm,
one. I had everything before before we met. I had the house, the car, the job.
Let me just so I know how we can lose ourselves, right?
mhm,
Because I was my last job, I was making six figures and just thought I had it all. I was losing myself because I wasn't doing exactly what I wanted to do with myself and how I felt like I wanted my life to be. So I prayed about it. And right before the pandemic, I got laid off. And I had a talk with God, I had a talk with my husband, and I said, I have been lost in focusing on making money and doing
Yeah.
this and my marriage. I just forgot about what Tanya wants. And
Yeah.
so I prayed about it. I went back to school to do aesthetics. And all while I was in school, I took extra classes. I bought all the stuff that I thought, machines and stuff that I thought I was going to need, and focused 100% on that. And not let my marriage be my number one priority because I felt like that's what I was doing. I wasn't
mhm,
really doing my job and my marriage and my grandkids and my son. Nothing, I didn't fit in that equation at all.
Right.
And so when I finished school, I was going to go work for someone, but I prayed about it really hard. And I'm like, God, I don't, if I leave corporate America, leave six figures, why would I go back and work for someone else?
Right.
And that's when I opened up my own spa. And it's been, sometimes my husband feels, I may spend too much time or too much energy on marketing and doing all these things, but I have to remember me.
That's
Also have to
right.
remember him, but I also have to remember me because if I'm not happy, I can't make you happy. If you're
Right.
not happy, you can't make me happy.
mhm,
So we have to have those moments to where
That's
because
right.
we can lose
And
ourselves. Like, my God, it's so easy because we're nurturers by nature, right?
mhm,
Like, we are natural nurturers. That's what we do. We take care
mhm,
of people, but we
mhm.
forget about ourselves sometimes. And that is the worst thing to do in any situation, no matter what, was it, whether it be raising your kids, whether it be
hello.
your husband. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear us? You, Pieces, you might have to go out and come back in.
Does that make sense?
Can you
But
hear me?
yeah.
Yeah, you might have to go out and come back in. You got a phone call, right? I'm gonna have to kick her out and let her come back in because when that call comes in,
Did that make sense, ladies? What I'm saying, how we just
yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It
it's
makes
easy
sense.
for us to
I,
get lost.
especially, Mimi, have you been married before?
No, but I've been in a relationship. I've been in an abusive relationship and I lost myself completely. And it was really hard to get back on my feet, psychologically speaking. So I understand that part.
Hmm.
I don't have children, so I cannot imagine how hard that part may be. Um, but yeah, it's called domestic violence, even though it's not physical. It's verbal, it's psychological, and yeah,
To
Verbal
make
could
you
be as bad
make
as physical too, because that when there's somebody tear down your psyche, it's so hard to get back to who you are.
yeah, when your spirit is broken, oh my God, that's hard, hard, hard to get back. And
yeah,
some people can they make to make themselves feel important, they break you down.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fair, it's not right. But Robert R. Kelly has a song, and I live. Men need to listen to that over and over and over and over and over again. When a
What's
woman's fed up,
oh my God, that yeah, right there.
there's nothing you can do about it because I look at it as that we've given you chance after chance after chance. And when we finally say, I'm done, there's nothing you can say to turn that around.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It sure is. And I'm sorry about that, guys. That was actually him trying to call in, but like I was saying, we were, trying to get his business and stuff going and off the ground, and I was focusing on, you know, we're gonna make sure that you have the best business and get you a website and all of this stuff going, you know. But it seemed like he was just more interested in everything else except what I was doing, to help the business grow. And, he was like spending time elsewhere, the money that we were getting, he was paying people's lot rent, all kinds of stuff, you know. And I was like, nah, this ain't right. We're not supposed to be, if you're married, you discuss things like that. You talk to one another, and I would have never had a problem with him giving to his mom or anybody for that matter. All I want you to do is communicate with me. Don't let anybody make me feel like they got the upper hand on me.
That's what he's supposed to do is talk to you about it, but
That's
come to an
right.
agreement together. That's the way marriage is supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't teach a person that may not have had that role model. You know, you can't teach a person how to be a husband and a father if they've never seen their dad being a husband and a father. You know, they are a great provider, but that's not all it takes. You have to be a well-rounded person. You can't put so much in one pot that you forget about the other pots.
Definitely. This is definitely something that needs to be discussed because
Yeah.
a lot of us are going through that, and because I'm reading the chat and everyone can actually relate to what you're saying.
And Miss Sylvia, I'm a strong person. I talk to my nieces and my little cousins and like my little girl, friends and stuff. And I'm like, you don't let nobody treat you like that. Now, what do I look like if I'm going through it? How can I be an example to you if I'm going through that? I can't. You tell people don't stay in an abusive relationship. Not saying that mine is, abusive or anything. But I'm saying, you can't tell a person to not be in an abusive relationship, and then you turn around and they find out you're in an abusive relationship. They're not gonna listen to you.
No.
You know. And
No.
I'm a strong advocate for the man is the head of the household. I will play my position. I will do what I need to do. But what I'm not gonna do is allow you to walk over me. I'm not gonna do that no more. I'm not going to allow you to act like you could just take advantage or I'm not here. Everything else is more important than, your children. No, you're not going to do that. It's either you can't do none of it or you don't. If you can't do something, you can't do none of it.
Sometimes people forget and get complacent. You know what I'm saying? And just forget the value that you bring to their lives. Some people do.
Yeah. And I hate to pull that rug, Tanya. I really hate to pull that rug. You hear me?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they think that you're always going to be there and they take you for
Yeah.
granted. And then once you leave, then they start crying.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they're like, I've my life. See, this is my personality because I give everybody a chance, but when I'm done with you, I don't care who it is, boyfriend, girlfriend, just whoever, friend, family, whatever. You got one time to really just cross me. And I don't know if it's because I'm my son. People say Aries aren't forgiving or whatever, but I just feel as if I'm too generous and kind and loving to people to where if you do me one time, I'm pretty much done because you had no reason to do it because I'm not going to give you a reason to do me that way. And
That's
I'm just
right.
done with you because you don't really care about me. You say you do, but for you
Yep.
to do things to hurt me, because love is not supposed to hurt at all.
Right. And you're not supposed to feel empty,
No, no,
or neglected or
no.
abandoned. I could probably, to be honest, I could probably go to the judge and probably file maybe abandonment or neglect. I could
Really?
probably file that.
Wow. I'm sorry.
But he don't hear me though. You see what I'm saying? These are all the things that I keep to myself that people do not realize. Like, if like I said, if I wanted to pull that rug, I could. But I'm not gonna do that. And I'm not that type of person.
I'm glad we were here
To
to listen to you tonight. I'm glad we were
oh
here
yeah,
so you could vent.
I appreciate it. I really do. You guys, you don't know, but I've already
Imagine,
done my crying, you
imagine
know.
I wasn't gonna be on tonight.
Well, I'm glad you were, Miss Sylvia. I've actually been trying to get your way down in Georgia. I love Georgia. But like I said, I just got this job up here, so I'm
Where
going
do
to
you
continue
live?
to do that. I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah.
you. I'm in Texas. God, we're far away from each other. Mimi, where are you?
She's in
Well,
Mexico.
yeah, I'm in
Oh
Mexico,
Mexico.
wow,
but I'm originally from California.
You're
Okay.
still
And
far away.
wow.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but I've been to Georgia 3 times this year. Like in the beginning of the year, up until I think I went in May. That was my last time going. But I mean, I just love Georgia. I just feel at home when I go there. Not any particular part. I just feel like that's where I belong. And I wish that the times that I did, have my money saved up and all of that, I wish that I had used that to do those things when I was really about to go. Like, I'm really going to go this time. Like, I'm really going to get 2 men in the truck, and I'm going to go. And I wish I had done that. I really do.
well, you know what? Some God may have stopped it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He may have
Yeah.
said, "Okay, this was not the right time. Let's just hold off for a second, and when it's time to go, I keep going back to my last relationship because I'm gonna tell you, my mother gave me. I was in this relationship. We had just had a new house built. I mean, seriously, we hadn't been in the house 2 weeks,
Wow.
and um, my mom came to my house for Mother's Day, and she gave me $500. Don't know why she gave me $500 because we normally. I don't really accept anything for her for Mother's Day, and I took when he went to work, and this wasn't a physical abusive relationship, it was infidelity. We weren't married, but we were, might as well say in Texas, you with somebody for a year, you're considered um uh married,
They're wow.
basically.
The
Yeah.
spouse. Yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't physical, but he was mentally. He cheated all the
Hmm.
time. We hadn't slept in the same bed in probably 2 years. Um, he would actually, when it came to being intimate, it was forced. He'd wait till I go to sleep. It felt like rape to
Like he
me,
was
to be
robbing
honest.
you. Right. Yep.
Exactly. So my mom had given me $500 for Mother's Day. When he went to work that following, I think it was that following Friday, I had already went and got an apartment for me and my baby
Wow.
and everything. When he went to work, I had movers come and take all of my things out of that house, and I left a brand new house that I hadn't even lived in a month, and I did not turn back. This man stalked me for a year, almost
Hmm.
2 years. I would be at a stop sign. He'd jump out of the bushes. He was going up to my son's school. Um, he never did find out where I lived, but everywhere I went, it's like I saw him. He'd pop up at my mom's or just somewhere where I was for almost 2 years. Make police reports. I'd do all of these things. He'd even got to a point to where he told me he would give me 500. He would give me $500 if I slept with him. Just you don't have to do nothing. Just
Mm-mm.
each time I call you, I'll give you $500.
Oh no.
And it was like,
Cynthia.
he's sickening. I had to get my number changed probably 5 or 6 times. It was the worst thing ever because, and my niece just saw him probably 6 months ago, and she said, "Ain't it? He almost made me cry because he had tears in his eyes and was saying that he shouldn't have never let you
Hmm.
go." And I
Yeah.
thought, girl, I told her, and it may have been ugly. I said, if you see him again, tell him I said jump off a bridge.
Right. Take a long walk off a short pier. Right.
Because I had done everything I could with this man.
Yeah.
And he was even to my mom's a hairstylist. He was even sleeping with one of my mom's clients.
Wow.
He was dropping her off at my mother's shop.
That sounds so familiar, Tanya.
So
Wow.
how can you don't love me? So for you to tell my niece that you should have never let me go, you didn't let me go. I left you. And I
Right.
told her, when you see him again, tell him to jump off a bridge because I given him everything that I had to give.
Hmm.
And thank God, we were supposed to have been married. And I called it off because in my spirit, my dad even told me, if you can't find a man that treats you better or as better as good as I treat you, then you
Hmm.
don't need him. And I kept hearing that, kept hearing my dad say that, kept hearing him say, "Don't do it." And I called it
Hmm.
off. And less than a year later, we were separated. We were gone. It was done. But yeah, he was sleeping around with strippers and my mom's client and
Wow.
just doing all kinds of nasty, filthy things.
Now this is the thing, just like when we were he didn't like propose to me, which should have been a red flag anyway, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't even propose to me. He told his sisters that we were getting married next week. And his sisters called me and they were like, he told me that y'all get married next week. And I'm like, you told him that? And he was like, yeah. I was like, is that, like my proposal or, what is it? And I went along with it because I did not want to let them down.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
and
saying?
like
I didn't want him to feel like, oh, she ain't gonna marry you.
yeah, and
You know?
and just like Latrice is saying, I don't. She would never tell a woman to leave a man. I wouldn't either. I just I don't want you. I hope I'm not coming off as if I'm saying for you to leave your marriage. I'm just giving you situational stuff and talking about this brings up these memories for me.
Right.
But
Because they're red
I
flags.
yeah, but I do like Latrice is saying. I do want you to feel like you tried your very best before you leave your marriage
Yeah.
because it is what when you set those vows when I set those vows I can remember them just as sure as I'm sitting here right now. It was for forever, and through sickness, through health, good and bad and all of those things. And I really pieces hope you don't think that I don't want to sound as if I'm telling you to leave
Oh,
your marriage.
no,
I
ma'am.
want you
Nobody
should
can,
yeah, you
you
should
know,
try as hard as you can to
yeah,
keep
but I ain't gonna try. I ain't gonna keep trying that hard. I mean, good God. I mean, what about him? He took the same vows.
yeah, he
You see what I'm
did.
saying? He took the
He
same
did.
vows in front of me and in front of God, in front of that magistrate. You know what I'm saying? He took those same vows.
You're right. Yeah.
People think just because, a person may not cheat, physically with a person that, they can't cheat other ways. Like you can cheat with your time, you can cheat with your money, you can, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of other things that you can do and cheat that person out of happiness. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's nothing, that you can say that would like make me just say, okay, I'm leaving because I got to deal with this thing. You know what I'm saying? I have to be here in North Carolina to deal with this. So, no, ma'am, I'm not taking it, anything that way. And I would never tell anybody to leave their marriage. I will also tell them, you pray about it. You do everything that you can. However, if it is taking more out of you to stay than you actually have left for yourself, then, you know, you got to do what's best for you. You
Yeah.
got to do what's best for you, because you can't be a complete person, while somebody's just subtracting, subtracting, subtracting. and
Mhm.
people thrive off of that.
Yes.
You know, if they can get you down, like if he could get me upset, I think made his day. So I started flipping the
Mhm.
script on him. You know what I'm saying? I started making him mad. I'm
Yeah.
good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would say little things. You better not like touch my stuff. Like I like things in order, right? My yard, I got a nice yard. I try to, keep my solar lights up, you know, all of this stuff. And I told him, I said, you need to, go out there and make sure that everything is straight in the yard because I don't like when we get to the stop sign. People can like look in our backyard, you know. So I told him, I said, you got 3 months to go out there and clean this stuff up. If not, I'm gonna hire some people to do it. You do that. You do that. You do it and see what I do. It's like those threats like that. You touch my stuff and you see what happened. Or you do this. I said, I don't even care nothing about that. I got the guys next door, and a couple of guys down the street, some guys that weren't working. And I was like, yo, I need y'all to come out here and help me clean this stuff up. Because I can't keep my yard like this. And they did it. What did he do? You told him to mess with my stuff? Yeah, I told him. And you better be glad I didn't burn it. Because I was gonna burn it from all the way from the barn all the way back to the forest. So he's lucky that he still got anything left. So there's nothing you can say. I really appreciate you guys, even listening and us having this discussion because a lot of people are going through things that they're not vocal about. Some people are dying inside. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and I'm not dying anymore. You know,
Good for you.
that's right. And like I said, that job opened up my eyes and just like a light bulb popped on. Like, yo, you need to get
Mm-mm.
yourself together.
I'm so glad you have that job piece.
Yeah. Thank
That's a
you so much.
blessing.
It is, and
That
it came in no time. I went to 4 interviews, and all 4 of the people called me back.
Look at God.
Okay, so it was time. I'm ready. I said, Lord, I don't care, because I suffer with fibromyalgia and a fractured sacrum on my back, my butt bone from being in an accident. But I don't know where the fibromyalgia came from. But I suffer with
it
that.
usually comes, sorry, peace. It usually comes from stress.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling you
and see,
because I
and this
studied
relationship is
psychology and
like
I'm
that.
finishing med school. Yeah, it's
And
just
you know what?
stress.
It is, and it's the up and down, the roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to like I need to be even keeled, you know, and it's like the up and down, the up and down, the up and down, and it makes me have like flare ups and things like that. And up until like last month, I would just be in the bed like 2 days a week, well, 2 or 3 days a month. I would flare up, not be able to move, be stiff, be hurting, all of that stuff. But I said, I don't care what happens. I will be at this job every day that the Lord wakes me up. I will be there and I will put my best foot forward to be the best employee that I can be at this time and just do everything that I can do in my power to get peace back. And that's the most important. My relationship with God is the most important.
Amen.
Is most important. I think that's why I'm here the longest. But I had to get peace back. My peace and peace in this puzzle back.
Also, peace. Pay attention to how God is moving for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, like I had said, we can think that God brought us together, brought me and the mate together,
Mm-hmm.
and we get married. But we seen the signs while we was dating, seen the
Yep.
signs while we was dating, but we ignored the signs regardless and go ahead and
Yep.
get married. And a lot of times our marriage is not ordained by God.
That's right.
And you gotta, and then while you being that you was in a long term marriages, the marriage that you've been in, the length of time you've been in, um, sometimes God give you a way of escape.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
He'll give you a
Yep.
way of escape. He's placing you where he wants you to be able to. maintain it on your own, but still with God's help,
Yeah.
not with the help of your husband, but with
Right.
his help. And he's setting you up. Just pay attention to how he's moving and where he's placed, where he's guiding you, ordering your steps. Because
Yes,
a
ma'am.
lot of times we want to stay in the marriage, we want to let it, but we still be tormented by the abuse, the physical abuse, the mental abuse, or whatever type of abuse that going on, and to where we don't we scared to leave because we're looking at what we are, where we are now. May not be
Right.
able to, may not be able to afford living, in an apartment, or live with somebody because you got too much stuff. It's
Right.
like,
And children, and you don't want to be a
exactly,
burden on somebody else. Yes, ma'am.
exactly, and you want to maintain your sanity, and you want your children to see how strong you are, and
Mm-hmm.
you also talk to them and let them know, baby, look, let me tell y'all something. What y'all see me and your daddy going through,
You
I
don't
don't
ever
wish
have to
that
go
on,
through that.
exactly. I
Mm-hmm.
don't wish that on you and nobody else. I want y'all to take notes, you know, take
That's
notes,
right.
and because you don't want them to follow your, well, my mama went through this, so I might as well. No, we don't want our children to do that.
That's right. That's why I was telling you that they're like smarter than we think. My sister, her and her husband, they went through. They've been married for 30 years, and I'm like, dang, I can't even make it to 13. You know what I'm saying? Because this is
Exactly.
ridiculous.
We look at
But
us, but see, that's what we do. We look at how other people going through, but we don't know how they went through. We
right,
see
or how
how
they got
they
through.
yeah, they marriage lasted what, they 30 years, 40, 50 years. We desire to get there, but how are we gonna get there? Because it's gonna take work, and you
Right,
gonna know your mate daily. You learning something daily on, with them, and they learning more about you. You learning more about them, and then there's some things you're not liking. There's gonna be some things he's not liking. But how are we gonna get through it? A lot of they say communication, communication. Sometimes I break down. I don't. I mean, not break down. I shut down because for
right.
one, I be careful on how I say something because I would come off a little aggressive with like
Mm-hmm.
authority or something, and he hates that. And but I don't see it, but he'll see it. And when he called me out on it, and I deny it, but then I have to think it back. Oh well, you about right, but still, But it's things that we have to learn to work together with. But if he's not willing to work together, how can you can't make it work on your own?
That's right.
It's hard. You can't do it by yourself. Like some people say, you keep doing, keep trying, keep doing what you're supposed to do as a wife. Keep this, keep doing that, keep doing this. But I'm praying, I'm working, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what a wife's supposed to do. But he's still doing what he want to do.
That's right. And
So
see, another
just
thing is this, Miss Rhoda,
no, this is Latrice.
Miss Latrice. Okay. And that's another thing. Like, you cannot, like, okay, the part that gets me is we sit up there as a woman, we pray to God, we pray, we do everything that we can do. We tell them from the gate, like, look, you don't need to do this, you know, don't do this. We're getting out of this situation. Let's, do it this way. They go and they do it another way.
Right.
And you have to go through that with them. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? Or if they go out here and just like I tried to explain to him one time, okay, we're one. So when you go out here and get a speeding ticket, that takes money out of our household. So what do?
Exactly.
I go out here and I try to drive the speed limit. Why? Because I don't want to take any money out of our household. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So when we do things and we try to help them, to see the forest from the trees, or however you say it, they actually go and just do whatever they want, and then here you are stuck in a rut with them.
Yep.
And you've been praying, you've been getting up early in the morning, praying over your children before they go to school.
Mhm.
You've been
Mhm.
fixing breakfast, you've been fixing lunch, you've been, you know what I'm saying? You've been going to church, you've been doing everything that you can, but you still, the part that gets me is that people can be blessed by association. You see what I'm saying? They want to
Exactly.
stay with you because they see the blessings that you have attached to you. They don't want to
Yep.
do right. They
Yep.
just want the blessings.
Yep.
And that's not fair to me. Because if I get up early in the morning and I plead the blood of Christ all over my children and this household and our jobs and our health and our finances and things like that, then what part are you gonna do?
Exactly.
It's not
Exactly.
fair.
Yep.
And that's I don't feel like I should have to go through extra stuff with you when you already know where it's gonna lead.
Exactly. And then once you do come to that conclusion that you know what, I'm going to go ahead and file for these papers. And you
That's
once
it.
you do that, that's when they act like they somewhat want to come around.
Mm-mm.
Like no, don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. God got me. That's what you have to keep saying. God got me because He do. You
Yeah,
know, He's your provider. He's your protector. So
yeah.
therefore, there's nothing you can say now to because if it's set in your heart, because you will know when it's time. God will place it in your heart to go ahead and just go ahead and do it because for one, that was not the relationship. Just saying that was not the relationship that He wanted you to be in. You chose to be in that relationship.
That's right. That's
You
what I was
know
trying to tell Miss Sylvia. Like a lot of things we didn't discuss with God
Mhm.
when we got in
exactly,
them. You see what I'm saying?
exactly,
So I feel like
exactly.
he got bigger fish to fry than to be worried about little old me. I'm the
Yep,
one that put myself in it. I know that he will look out for me. But why
yep,
should I bother him when I didn't choose to bother him in the beginning to get it?
yep,
You know?
yep. You sure right.
So, and I mean, we can't bring him in on the end of stuff. We should bring him in the beginning. I know what to do this time. Because I'm not saying I would never get married again. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna date again. But I know the telltale signs for sure
Yep.
now of never settle for anything less, than like I think Miss Mimi said, than what your dad did for you. That same thing rings back in my head every time we go through something. He said, "Why would you want to be with someone who is unfair to you?"
Mhm.
You know.
Yep.
And that just
You sure
plays back
right.
in my brain over and over again. Like, why would I? When I'm being as nice, I'm being as fair, I'm being as just, I'm trying to be as righteous and right as I can be. Why would I
Mhm.
why would I do that?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. Someone that's unfair to you. That's
That's
real good.
right.
That's good.
Right.
So no matter what we go through, ladies, I know they seem like, we're hard to get along with. It's not that. It's just we want you to be accountable, men. We want you to be accountable for your actions. A lot of, and I'm not, getting on the racist thing or anything like that, but a lot of people say that, guys date, outside of their races because of what we have done to them or what we want to accept from them. But all we want you to do is be that man that God created you to be. We want you to be accountable. We want you to be the head of the household. We want you to, you
Yep.
know, but you have to have those characteristics.
Yep.
And if they
And
don't have them, then it's
mhm.
not going to work.
And
Exactly.
it's really hard to submit to someone that has not submitted to you, because not only did God tell us we have to submit, but husbands, what did he tell husbands they got to do?
Love your wives.
Yeah.
Love your wife just as you love
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
Just like Christ loved the church.
that's right. And they have to honor us just like we honor them. And
Exactly.
it's a two-way street. But if you see the signs, ladies, let's not look over them because that will lead to a whole bunch of wasted years that you
Yep.
could have been on purpose, living on purpose, walking
Right.
in your purpose, and
Listen.
being
Right.
the woman,
Hmm.
the virtuous woman that the Bible speaks of. You know,
Yes.
you can't do that. We
Nikki, I
Right.
have
hope
to.
you're getting a lot of lessons out of this, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, I am, and it helps me a
No,
lot
I was
because
saying Mimi. I hope she's getting some lessons out of this because she's never been married, nor
oh
does she
Oh,
have
yeah.
children.
oh
But
girl,
I've had relationships. I've been through my share. That's why I'm in medical school because I actually had to go to therapy piece because I had a real bad abusive relationship, and I went to therapy for 6 years. And what my psychiatrist told me was you need to get a good career because if you go through this again, you have a good career, you can stand on your feet by yourself, and you can just say
hmm
bye. And
yeah,
that's what I did.
That's why usually people stay in bad relationship because they don't have anywhere else to go.
yeah,
Or
Exactly.
no way out.
Exactly.
Nowhere out.
that's it. And
Yeah.
like I told you, if I wanted to leave, I couldn't have left. I would have had to ask him for money. Like I'm gonna leave you, then go to the bank and take money out of out of our account or whatever. And I'm not a thief. Yeah, I might have worked for that money or whatever, but I want it to already be mine. I shouldn't have to ask you for that. You know?
Peace, and that part where you say, how can you talk to your daughters or your nieces about not being in an abusive relationship? I think that's exactly how, because you've experienced it and you know what it's like firsthand.
Yeah.
So other people who haven't been through that wouldn't know exactly how it is, but you do. So I think you would be able to help them better than other people.
I'm gonna be like Azriel. I'm gonna be an advocate for women.
Oh my God, no,
Look,
those are
Girl,
not
no,
real.
ma'am.
Those are not real. No, no, come
I
on.
was just playing. I
No.
was just playing. But y'all remember when
No,
she got
those
into the
are,
fight?
see,
When she got in
Peace,
the fight with Joy?
no, no, see, Peace, you're real. They're pretending to have been in an abusive relationship.
Right.
And you and all of us that have been in an abusive relationship, we all know and we all see because we've been there and we all see that that's not an abusive relationship, that they're lying because we know what real,
Yeah.
quote unquote victims look like or sound like. They don't sound like them. They sound like us. They sound like you, Peace. That's exactly what they sound like. And they do not sound like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. That's how we know. And even Choke is like, wow, y'all are, y'all been fighting for this man for 2 years. Yeah, that's how we knew. That's
Yeah,
why we've been
because we
fighting for him
know.
because, like, we know, these women, we know women, period. We know ourselves and we know other women. We know if a woman is a so-called Jezebel. We know when a woman is trying to talk to our husbands. We know when, we know.
Yeah, and we know our men. We know how
Yeah,
they are. You know what I mean? We know. So they can't be making all the I mean, we know there's like the back of our hand.
yeah. I tell you what, if you wait till Kels get out, I hope I'm divorced by then. I'm gonna show him he can hold me
Hey,
hostage
hey, hey,
any
don't put
day.
pieces, don't say that in here, because then they'll
Oh, I'm
say
sorry.
something else. I'm advocating all it.
Oh
Please don't
Lord,
say that
no
in
ma'am.
here.
Miss Sylvia
Please.
had nothing to do with that. I just said that being funny. No, no, no. I
Cause you
wouldn't even
know,
do that to
You're
Robert because
always
he done got in
being
tomorrow,
so much
funny.
stuff.
tomorrow I'll be somebody's commentary of me wanting to have people to be with Robert now. Y'all
Well,
know
look, they're
that.
Nah,
gonna have me up there
Sylvia.
probably. They're like, she's up here telling Sylvia her business, and they'll probably look me up too. So I mean, it is what it is. It's people, like I said, this conversation could have been for anybody, because I wasn't who I am today a year ago. When I was going through and didn't have any way out. But now, thank God, I have a way out, and I'm just waiting.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Amen.
Because some women it takes them forever, or sometimes they don't ever get out.
And you ever see somebody in a casket? When my dad passed away, he had a little. I don't know if the funeral director or anybody, if they put this little smile on their face or what, but he had a little smirk on his face, and it made me feel like he had actually lived his life. Like he was okay with the decision to go, and that's what I said. I don't want to die and I look like I'm 60. Pass away, I'm 40 years old, and I look like I'm 60 or 70 years old. I want to be ready. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to look like I've been through hell and high water while I'm in the casket. Even though I'm not going to know what I'm going to look like, but I'm just saying, when you go, you want to go happy, you know? And I know y'all
Yeah.
probably think that's kind of weird, but him and my grandfather, they had a little smirk on their face. And I'm like, wow, they were actually like kind of at peace, I think, and I didn't want that to happen to me. So I chose not to live with resentment or to be bitter and just
Well,
go
can
about
I
my
say
business.
something? But
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
want to scare you all. Um,
Uh-oh.
in February, actually on my birthday, my aunt was hospitalized with COVID, and she had been married to this man who was abusive to her. And she was married to him for over 40 years, and he was still abusive. Well,
Wow.
she was, connected with the ventilator in the hospital. Well, he decided to tell the doctors to disconnect her. And we as family couldn't do anything about it
No.
because that was her husband. So he did it on my birthday. So she passed away on my birthday because he told the doctors to disconnect her. And I was so devastated, and at the same time I was so scared because I was thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I can marry someone who can take that decision for
Yeah.
me. How scary is that?"
And take it from your children. If you have children, you got to be able
Yes,
to trust that person. People can cry out, "I love you." They just like they say in the Bible that they cry, "Lord, Lord," but their works are far away from Him. Their hearts are far away from Him. So we have to make sure that it's somebody that we can trust and we can put our lives in their hands. Because that's really serious. Now, him on the other hand, he probably wouldn't, be afraid of what I would do because he knew that I would, send him off a decent way. I'll make sure his daughter's taken care of. His daughter that he has had before we married, and my children that I have here, they'll be taken care of. Me on the other hand, I'm like, nah, I'll let my sister do it. Y'all still there?
I'm here.
yeah, we're here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you got to be able to trust them. I mean, trust them
Yes,
with everything that you have in you. And it's hard to find somebody these days that you can actually trust and that they have your
yeah,
best interests. So
yeah. So sometimes I wouldn't trust them as far as I can see them,
I'm telling you,
and then wouldn't trust them then.
you sure wouldn't.
That
Mm-mm.
was in my prayer the other day. Just that's God. I want to trust Him more. Trust Him more
Right.
because it says putting all your trust in Him.
That's
Trusting in the
it.
Lord, and yeah, in all your ways, and He shall direct your path. So I just want to put all my trust in Him, not in man, because man will definitely let me down.
Deceive you. They sure will. And he told us not to do it. He
Yeah,
said, put no trust in man, for they will deceive you. So I think the main thing is that, applying the scriptures. I don't know
exactly.
everybody's, belief system, but applying the scriptures. That's the most
Yeah,
important part. And
right.
he gave us the instructions. He gave us, what he wants us to do. And we just have to put, like I said, after my dad passed, I didn't have anybody in this whole wide world, except my children. My mom had
Mm,
turned her back on me. My sister turned her back on me. It was my dad, my biological dad. And this was about 7 years ago. And I just prayed to God, like, Lord, will you just show me you, the truth? Show me. I want to live righteous. I want to live right. No, I'm not perfect. I still got little, vices that I have, but I try to do everybody the right way the first time, so I don't have to go back and apologize.
None of us are
exactly.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we don't fall short every day. So I mean,
yeah.
It's gonna be
But
in
that, you know
action
what, Miss
or in
Latrice?
thought.
But people cannot get that mixed up and not trying. Just because we
Exactly.
fall, we still have to try.
Yep. Yep. And we repent daily.
That's right.
Repent. Cause you know that thing that that curse word that wouldn't cross my mind. It
I'm
just didn't
telling you.
make it out of my mouth, but it's staying in my head.
I'm
You
telling you.
know. So man. Uh-uh.
Yeah, I do appreciate you ladies though. I've been sitting out here in the truck. I actually drove down to the store for a minute just to get out of the yard because he kept calling me back and forth. But I'm back home now and sitting in the yard talking to you guys, and I really appreciate it.
We're
We
always
appreciate
here.
You're
you too.
welcome. We
You
have
know.
a
Yeah, and maybe we
prayer
can do
with
this
Miss
again.
Sylvia. If you ever want to join Peace, Miss Sylvia has a prayer that we do once a week.
Okay.
You can email her, and we're getting together right now on Wednesdays, I believe.
Yes,
Okay,
Okay.
Wednesday morning.
early in the morning. Early.
Mm.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, depending on where you at. Now we base ourselves on Sylvia's time because it'll be 2 o'clock my time and 3 o'clock her time.
And
Yeah, it'll
one
be
Early.
three
o'clock
o'clock
my
my time
time.
too.
Why come I didn't know about this?
Tanya, we've been
I didn't know
talking about it.
about it.
Actually, I
We've
was gonna
been
say, why don't you come, Tanya? Why
we've
haven't
been
you joined us?
we've been
Yeah,
praying.
Tanya. It's been since we did that fasting the week before
For a
it
whole
was
week,
supposed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was fainting because I
So where do
wasn't
I go
eating.
do that?
Huh?
Girl, I already
So
fall asleep
on this
praying
channel?
sometimes. So,
No, I do it
No.
privately. I do it privately. I'll send you the link.
okay.
Yeah,
Do
send
it
it to both
privately.
of them so they can join us. I'm sorry I didn't join this past Wednesday. I was tired.
It's
I really
okay.
was.
It's okay. But we've been praying for Robert every Wednesday. We prayed for him every day for 7 days and then turn around, boom, during our prayer. Right?
Hmm.
Remember that Friday? That's when we found out that
Yep.
the attorney was coming in, that
Mm.
Yep.
he choked at the rally. Just stuff been happening since we've
Yep.
been praying for him.
And that is a
And
blessing. That
Miracle.
lady, she did really good last night on BNC. She really did.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
anybody else would have gotten up there and, he's this and he's done this back in his past, like Greenberg got up there and did. But she answered the question just like she so professionally. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows what her job is, her aim, her target, and she's gone.
She sure did. She sure did. She
I even
delivered.
told my mom, I was like, Mom, we got Cosby's lawyer. She was like, oh, y'all got him? Like, well, Kels got him, because she knows that I've been following Kels ever since I was probably about 15 years old.
Well, we've been praying, y'all,
And I'm
and
gonna say
prayer
this too.
works.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And y'all know she's gonna
Mm-mm.
fight the law with the law,
That's
Exactly.
right.
right?
That's
Yep.
right. And one thing that she said last night, she said righteous. She said the word righteous in one of her explanations or one of her answers. And that makes a big difference when you're trying to be just and righteous. That people are going to be treated fairly, that this system is put in place to treat us fairly. And when you have, like she said, a miscarriage of justice, it's not fair to anybody. And she wants to do the righteous thing. And that right there, that gave me a lot more faith in the outcome of his appeal. Even though we already knew he was probably going to get an appeal anyway, we just needed the extra boost to say, you know what, Lord, we believe you. He got it. You got it. So Kills is going to be fine. Thank God. Don't stop the prayers, definitely, because as soon as we stop, that old devil
Oh,
is going to
trust
be
me.
right there.
He's
Yeah, he
there
tried
even
to.
when we're praying.
Yeah.
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 he's he-
Exactly.
he's there when we're praying. I mean, that's when he gets really angry when we're praying.
Yeah.
He hates it. You know, he hates it. He
Hmm
hates
Yeah.
for us to give God the glory.
Yeah. And he said, well, they asked him and said, well, devil, what have you, I think when it was with Job, he said, well, what have you been doing? He said, going up and down and
To and
through,
fro.
to and
Yep. To
fro,
and fro.
you know? So He is there, but he gets no glory. He has to do what the man upstairs tells him to do. So if God told him not to touch his son, then he cannot touch him.
Amen.
So no matter what they throw at him, and he is a strong man to have dealt to Kels to be dealing with the stuff that he's dealing with,
Yeah.
and has kept his silence, has kept his integrity, has kept his manhood. Man,
And we
he
just
is a
pray,
strong
I was
man.
telling Miss Sylvia, I listened
exactly.
to it. I listened to Admit for the first time, like really listen to it.
Uh-huh.
It's telling a story.
It is.
The truth.
But
Yep, the
yeah.
whole truth. But nobody wanted to believe it.
But look, our
Nobody
whole
wanted to
prayer,
believe it.
look, our whole hour prayer don't be about him. He's there. He's the center focus of it. But we also pray for each other and families and whatnot. And if you got a request, we implicate that in the request as well. Now, Red Bunny, baby, I'm gonna need you to come on through at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you can go back to sleep afterwards.
This is my little dog. Yep. Well, hopefully, Miss Sylvia, maybe this is something that you may be able to add to your channel, just like relationship advice, or just like an open panel about things that we've gone
You know
through.
what? Let me tell you something. You have just confirmed some things that God has been talking to me about.
Girl
Well,
talk.
all praises, all
I know.
praises.
All praise to God.
Yeah.
I wish I would, Tanya. I wish you would have. It's so weird. Okay, never mind.
No, we're here, Sylvia. Oh, well, if you don't want to say because
No, 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 no,
we're
no, 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 no,
everyone's
no, no,
listening, it's
no,
okay.
no, no, no. It's just that it's like confirmations on top of confirmation on top of confirmation. It's just
That's
like,
what I like. Confirmation.
yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, wow. And I've never talked to you, Peace, about anything. You know what I mean? We never talked on phone
Nope.
about anything. And for you to even say that, I'm like, wow, look at God.
Yeah. And for this, situation to come up, then I mean, it is what it is. You just got to walk in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Girl,
this is
it
not
can be
expected.
titled Girl Talk.
Sorry, I was on YouTube.
Whatever, Red Bunny.
Yeah, girl talk.
But the funny thing is,
I'm on my camera.
my title did say,
Sorry about that. I
should
was
we
on YouTube.
read the transcript? That was a question.
But
I
the
didn't even look
spirit
at the
fell on
title.
you. But that's why I was telling somebody in the chat. What was that? For Kels.
Yeah, something for Kels. Who was that? Let me see. Who's that? Let's see. Who was that? I think it was Justice for Kels. Was it
I
Justice
said,
for
do we
Kels?
have
No,
any
not justice for
readers?
Kels.
No, due process for
Yeah,
Kelly.
due process for Kels. And I
Yeah.
said, you know how when you at church and the pastor come out with his topic, but then in the middle of it, the spirit fell on him and he said something. It changed the whole subject. It wasn't what he studied the whole week for. He just changed the whole topic, and it be
Right.
about something else.
But look
Yeah.
at who look,
Sometimes you never know how God will move.
and
You
you just
know.
gotta let him move. You just gotta,
Yeah.
just surrender. Say, Lord, whatever your will is, that's what you're gonna do for today. We
Yeah.
may have our plans, but God plan ultimately gets
Yeah.
performed, because we don't know who this message was healing, who's going through whatever it is. It might have been pieces that gave that came in and said something, and it resonated with someone else that's going through something. You
Mhm.
Yeah.
don't know what they were going through in their
Yeah.
household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And it could have
never
been
know.
abuse, and they're trying to figure out which way to go.
They might be asking God a question, and then one of y'all answer that question for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, it can be
So
someone that's gonna come and listen to this later, Sylvia,
you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So I pray blessing on whoever this message is for. I pray that you
Yeah.
find the answer and you know what steps to take, what God has already placed in your heart. This here is just a confirmation for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a confirmation. So move
Cause
on,
at
baby.
first, when I came in, I was like, oh my God, what's this news we in now? Oh my God, it's so
Right.
sad. Like, Sylvia,
Yep.
what is going on, honey? I don't want to hear all this. What? So I had to go back to listen to see what was going on. I really didn't hear much, but I still will. Let me catch up.
No, it wasn't sadness. I wasn't sad, was I?
Girl,
I
it just
know
sounded so
you just had
sad.
that voice.
I
You
just
know
had
that
Thank
voice you give me,
you.
Sylvia. You just
Thank
had
you,
that voice.
P.
You're like my mom.
It's
Like
that
when my
Yeah,
voice.
mom
that's
calls and
That,
tell us stuff, it's just that voice
that
that
yeah,
you
peaceful
it's
got.
voice.
getting teary.
That
Yeah, that's why I
peaceful
asked,
voice.
"Are you okay?" Because I
yeah,
was
I hate
gonna
her.
cry. I'm like, "What's going on?"
No, and there was no tears at all, guys. There go
Nah,
my
it
sister.
was
There go
just
my
a
sister right here,
sadness.
y'all. This is our prayer warrior right here.
Who is it?
Right here.
Deborah.
What's she?
Right there. Praise the Lord, Miss Sylvia.
Oh,
Yeah, I know I
hey,
love you
Deborah.
ladies. I'm late coming in, but I am hearing it's good. See?
Mm-hmm.
See, but see, she came in on the good stuff. When I came in, it was all sounding sad. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to
Yeah.
feel this way.
It's not sad. It's like we can't always have that boop,
But
boop, 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 boop,
we
boop,
had
boop.
already gotten to the sad. No, but we had
Yeah.
already gotten over the sad stuff before we came online.
Yeah,
See,
I mean,
Well,
Tanya
Right,
see,
was
Sylvia?
used as an instrument, man. She had me. I was in tears when I was on the phone with her. And by the time I got off, I'm like, oh, I'm going live.
but see, but see, I'm gonna need you and Twins to stop having those private talks without me and Mimi present.
Yes,
Thank you,
because
Mimi.
Latrice and
Okay.
I be all worried about you.
No, me and Tanya,
Latrice and I,
Terry, go sit down. He's drunk.
oh, Terry,
Lat-
he just trying to get,
so
Yeah.
y'all, he's just
Sylvia.
trying, y'all, he's trying to get on the other channel. He sent me a message. Are we going live? I said yes. And
This
so now
buzz
he's trying
going
to
down.
come. This
Shut up,
dude,
Terry.
man, this dude, I tell you,
Tell
he
him
has something on his mind.
what
Okay, y'all, let's go on
what do
the
you want
other
to talk
side.
about?
What else
all
do we
right.
ever want to talk
Okay.
about? What else do we
I'll
want to
He
meet you
talk
on
want to
the other
about?
have pillow
side.
talk. He wants pillow talk. That's
Yeah.
what he
Mm-mm.
No.
Well,
Well, look,
let's
I'm going back in the chat and do my job that Miss Sylvia
okay, we'll see
ordained
you
me
on the
to
other
do.
side.
Yeah, we'll see you on the other side.
See y'all on the
All
other
right.
side because he
We're
came
going
in
to
here
the other
trying to
channel?
push. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All
right,
All
because
right.
it's
right,
on now.
baby.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
All right.
Bye.
I
Bye
Okay.
hope
bye.
you uplifted. You feel better, peace.
Yes, ma'am. I do, Mr. Trees. Yep.
Okay. Okay. All
Yep.
right.
Thanks.
You welcome.
Love
We
All
on
right.
the
See
you.
other
you on the
side
other
now.
side. Love you
Love you
guys.
guys.
Okay.
All
Love you.
righty.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Mimi, stay on until I get the other one ready. Hold on, let me get the other one
Okay.
ready.
Okay.
Let me end this slide from now.